Calvin Castine, just outside of beautiful downtown Chazy. It's the 28th day of May 2006, and we're here for the annual Memorial Weekend Parade put on by the local veterans. We're right across the road from American Legion Post 769, Russell B. Child's American Legion Post. And we're here for the, as we said, the annual parade, which will be starting momentarily as you're watching this. Hopefully it's actually in the real world here. It's 12:06, and hopefully they have started on their route and they'll be coming within view very shortly. But before that happens, we'll listen to the Master of Ceremonies, Steve Bowman, say a few words.
On behalf of the American Legion Post 769 here in Chazy, I'd like to welcome you to our Memorial Day Parade. The parade has already started, so it should be up here shortly. But I'd like to go over a few things and introduce people that are on the reviewing stand today. To my left, the far left, is Staub Spiegel, our town supervisor. Next to Staub is Kathy Devins, one of our town council. Next to Kathy is Sue Oliver, who is Leo Oliver's wife. Leo is our town clerk. And then we have Joyce Rovers and Dutch Rovers, and Dutch is one of our council members as well. Every year when we have the parade, there's a little bit of lag time between now and the time that the parade gets up here. And this year, the veterans organizations throughout the United States have been working very hard. Actually, they've been working very hard for the last 17 years to try to get something corrected with our American flag. And I'd like to read and inform you a little bit about what's going on with the American flag in Congress. The flag which we honor and under which we serve is the emblem of our unit, our power, our thought, and purpose as a nation. It has no other character than that which we give it from generation to generation. That is a quote from Woodrow Wilson that was done in 1917. The following is written by the American Legion National Commander Tom Bach. The week of June 26, the United States Senate has the opportunity to correct a mistake made by the Supreme Court 17 years ago. A mistake that took from the American people a right they had possessed for more than 200 years. Senate Majority Leader Bill Frist pledged to the American Legion in March that he will bring the flag amendment, which is Senate Joint Resolution 12, to the Senate floor for a vote that final week of June. His promise couldn't come at a better time. Resolution 12 has 58 co-sponsors in the Senate. It is supported by at least 66 senators, just one vote short of what is needed to send it back to the states for ratification. The amendment simply reads that Congress shall have power to prohibit the physical desecration of the flag of the United States. It doesn't make flag desecration illegal. It simply takes power over the flag from the Supreme Court, which ruled in a 5-4 vote in 1989 that flag desecration is a form of free speech protected under the First Amendment, and returns it to the people. The amendment would have to be ratified by 38 states before becoming part of the Constitution. Polls commissioned by the American Legion and the Citizens Flag Alliance consistently show that 75 to 80% of Americans support protecting the flag. The Supreme Court got it wrong when its one-vote decision defined flag burning as speech. A former baseball manager, Tommy Lasorda, said, "Speech is when you talk. Desecrating the flag is conduct, a type that has no business being protected." Call your senators, fax or email them. Visit their district offices. Write letters. Persistence has kept the flag amendment an issue for 17 years, and 2 more months, or even more persistence, can restore a right that never should have been taken away from the American people. We ask you to get involved and write your senators and call them and fax them and email them and tell them to join the flag amendment and ask for that flag to be protected. We ask that you do this for us to help us get this done. Thank you. Today, after the parade, we're going to have a special ceremony that will take place after the band does their medley of songs. I'd like you to turn around and look at the small table that sits in front of the flagpole. That is the POWMIA table. We will talk about that and what that means to us, the veterans, at the end of the parade. Members of our family and members of our community go into the service, and many times the family members of the military don't understand or don't want to know what's happening, and many people in the community don't understand what these young people go through. Today we're going to talk a little bit about the military and about the people in the military. I'm going to describe an individual. The average age of a military man is 19 years of age. He is a short-haired, tight-muscled kid who under normal circumstances is considered by society as half man, half boy. Not yet dry behind the ears, but not yet old enough to buy a beer, but old enough to die for his country. He really never cared much for work, and he would rather wax his car than wash his father's, but he has never collected unemployment. He is a recent high school graduate. He was probably an average student, pursued some form of sports activities, drives a 10-year-old jalopy, and has a steady girlfriend that either broke up with him when he left or promises to be waiting when he returns from halfway around the world. He listens to rock and roll, or hip hop, or rap, or jazz, or swing, and 155 millimeter howitzers. He is 10 to 15 pounds lighter now than when he was at home, because he is working or fighting from dawn to well after dusk. He has trouble spelling, thus letter writing is a pain for him. But he can field strip a rifle in 30 seconds and reassemble it in less time in the dark. He can recite to you the nomenclature of a machine gun or a grenade launcher and use either one effectively if he must. He digs foxholes and latrines and can apply first aid like a professional. He can march until he is told to stop, or stop until he is told to march. He obeys orders instantly and without hesitation. But he is not without spirit or individual dignity. He is self-sufficient. He has 2 sets of fatigues. He washes one and wears the other. He keeps his canteen full and his feet dry. He sometimes forgets to brush his teeth, but never to clean his rifle. He can cook his own meals, mend his own clothes, and fix his own hurts. If you're thirsty, he'll share his water with you. If you're hungry, his food. He'll even split his ammunition with you in the midst of a battle when you run low. He has learned to use his hands like weapons, and his weapons like they were his hands. He can save your life or take it, because that is his job. He will often do twice the work of a civilian, draw half the pay, and still find ironic humor in it all. He has seen more suffering and death than he should have in his short lifetime. He has stood atop mountains of dead bodies and helped to create them. He has wept in public and in private for friends who have fallen in combat and is unashamed. He feels every note of the national anthem vibrate through his body. While at rigid attention, while tempering and burning desire to square away those who are around him who haven't bothered to stand, remove their hat, or even stop talking. In an odd twist, day in and day out, far from home, he defends their rights to be disrespectful. Just as his father, grandfather, and great-grandfather is paying the price for our freedom. Beardless or not, he is not a boy. He is an American fighting man that has kept his country free for over 200 years. He has asked nothing in return except for friendship, understanding. Remember him always, for he has earned our respect and admiration with his blood. And now we even have women who are fighting alongside the men, doing their part in this tradition of going to war when our nation calls us to do so. As you go to bed tonight, imagine quietness, a short lull, a little shade, and a picture of a loved one in their helmet. And I'd like to recite this short little prayer for our soldiers and for those that are in active duty now. Lord, hold our troops in your loving hands. Protect them as they protect us. Bless them and their families for the selfless acts they perform for us in our time of need. Amen. As you can see, the parade is inching closer and closer to us. So we're going to be able to start reviewing our parade entries today. We have well over 30 units in the parade today, so we're very proud of that.
Looks like a state police vehicle leading the parade, followed by the color guard. Again, that was Steve Bowman. He's the Clinton County Veterans Administrator and a member of the Post here, and did a nice job in that little parade presentation. Bright sunny day, temperature approaching 80 degrees.
First unit in our parade today is the New York State Police vehicle leading the parade. Directly followed is our color guard, which comprises of a group of several different veterans from different organizations. We have the veteran carrying the American flag is from the North Country Vietnam Vets. The POW flag is a member of the VFW out of Champlain, and our two honor guard are members of the Chazy American Legion Post.
The trooper
Our
was
Grand Marshal today is Christopher Lapierre, who was born on January 1966 in Poughkeepsie, New York, to Stanley and Lita Lapierre. Chris attended Beekmantown Central School and graduated in 1985. He enlisted in the United States Army in 1987, and from 87 to 91 he served with the 3rd Infantry Division in West Germany. From 92 until the present, he has worked at car dealerships as sales managers in various dealerships in Georgia, Washington, D.C., Iowa, and New York. He currently is the finance manager at Riley Ford. In 2003, Chris enlisted in the Vermont National Guard in Enosburg Falls, Vermont. In 2004, he volunteered to serve with the 42nd Infantry Division in Iraq. In 2005, he served in Tikrit, Iraq. as Operations NCOIC of the Joint Visitors Bureau. Chris returned to the States from Iraq in November of '05, and in 2006, he re-enlisted in the Vermont National Guard. Welcome, Chris. Our next vehicle is an entry from Parker Chevrolet. That is followed by the VFW Post 1418 float from Champlain with members of the post. The vehicle is driven by Stanley Lapierre, who is commander of that post.
And the father of Christopher Lapierre. Rabideau leading the hand salute for DFW Post 1418.
Next vehicle is a U.S. Army Jeep, 1956 Willys Jeep.
Richard Martin.
Owned by Sam Fairchild and is driven by one of our Post members, Rich Martin.
I got a couple young recruits here.
Picking up recruits along the way. Remember Korea, it says.
The next couple of vehicles and marchers are from Company B, 2nd 108 New York National Guard, along with two other vehicles. They're out of Morrisonville.
National Guard. And with another vehicle following. As I said, it's a bright, beautiful Memorial weekend. This is Sunday. Hometown Cable will be covering events tomorrow on Memorial Day as we're taping this. While I'm taping this, Sam Castine is in Champlain covering the annual St. Mary's Bazaar Parade. One 800 Guard.
The next vehicle is the Disabled American Veterans vehicle. This van is the one that transports veterans from up here or down to Albany, down to the VA hospital. The van is driven by Paul Dumas, who is the commander of the DAV chapter, and has several members in with him.
Certainly an important vehicle to local
now, some of you
veterans.
remember last year we did a fund drive back in March with WOKO for a new DAV van. We've been told by Albany at the VA hospital that they have the new van. They're waiting to get it registered, insured, and everything prepared, and then we will have two vans up here to transport people to Albany. We plan to use the two vans for both transporting vets to Albany and for local trips back and forth to the VA clinic and the hospitals here.
As I was driving up to school to do a Chazy ball game earlier this week, I saw Frank Langer and a bunch of his students marching around the driveway in front of the school, getting ready for today's parade. Here's the Chazy Central Rural School Band, who today is a marching band. So they're used to playing their instruments, but they're not used to doing it while they march. So they had to get a little practice in on that, and with the 15 consecutive days of rain, I'm sure it was a little tough to find a time when they were available, and it wasn't raining. So you may have had times when it wasn't raining, but the kids weren't available to be out there as a group, and sometimes when they were available, but you couldn't go out there. But
You can hear a school
they always
band
do a
coming
fine
up.
job.
That is a band from Chazy Central Rural School. Director is Frank Langer. Members of the elementary band, concert band, and wind ensemble are marching to the Olympic Spirit by John Williams. At the conclusion of the parade, the band will perform a medley of 3 patriotic songs: America the Beautiful, You're a Grand Old Flag, and America. To honor those who served and have served our country, they will also perform an arrangement of our official national march, The Stars and Stripes Forever.
Great job.
Next item is the American Legion Post 769 Annual Ice Racer. Designed and made by Ray Coyne, assisted by Tim Lamica. This is what we set out in the Little Chazy River. And we take raffles on what day it's going to go through the ice.
Apparently it's fallen through already. Here it is, only May 28th. The ice is already melted.
Approaching the reviewing stand is the Chazy Central School Class 2007 Junior Prom Court.
I think the boys would have rented their tux again just for the parade, huh? That's $150.
They are followed by the Chazy Volunteer Fire Department, Chief Mike Cahoon. We have engine 151, pumper. The driver is Dick Carpenter. That's followed by engine 152, pumper driven by Todd Carpenter. That is followed by Rescue 154, which is a heavy rescue, driven by Aaron Trombley. That is followed by Ambulance 155, whose driver is Bruce Neville. And that is followed by Brush Truck 156, who is driven by Bob Misak. The old car following the fire department is 1929 Model A, driven by Sam Fairchild.
And the horn works. Sam Fairchild. There's Model A. Chances are he bought that brand
The
new.
viewing stand is Cub Scout Pack 38, Cub Master Tom Bear. The Cub Scouts every year now meet here in the Chazy Post, and for the last 2 years have been helping us on Saturday, the day before Memorial Day, putting out flags at the cemeteries here in the hamlet of Chazy. So they're doing their part with community service.
Alright. The Scouts helping out on Veterans Day. Throwing candy to the kids. Tom Bear in charge. Not Smokey Bear, but Tom Bear.
They are followed by two vehicles from Riley Ford here in Chazy. A 2004 Ford Ranger driven by Tony
Gerald Roberts
and Ryan Roberts.
Oh, Gerald's on the other side. Nice to see Gerald.
XLT with Sun and Sound package driven by Mary Beth.
Mary Beth with no last name. 0 down, 299. Can't hardly go wrong.
Coming up to the reviewing stand now is the Chazy After School program. The children from the Chazy After School program are riding in the trailer behind.
These are the kids that were left over there last Friday. Nobody picked up. So all the kids that are left behind on Friday, on Memorial Weekend, they bring them to the parade. So those are the kids that were left over at the after school program. Oh, got some apples in town here. Who knew that? Here we are right in the middle of the Chazy orchards and standing in front of the Chazy Orchards building. And we've got an apple float coming. I've heard of a strawberry float, but this is an apple float. Just as tasty, I'm sure. And what are they handing out? Free apples.
We have the Chazy Orchards coming up to the reviewing stand. As you can see, they're passing out apples as they go. Our hometown employer.
Jeff Green from the Green family is providing the PA system today. Sue wants to make sure everybody has some apples. Look out, holy cow, what an arm. What an arm.
Hey, they got their own bag.
Coming up are the Chazy Girl Scouts. And as they get in front of the reviewing stand,
Lisa Panetta and the Girl Scouts.
Form a circle and do the Girl Scout Friendship Circle.
All right. Let's go. Girl Scouts disembarking the float here. Yeah, scouting is alive and well. We saw quite a few Boy Scouts, and I think there's even more Girl Scouts here. Scouting is alive and well in Chazy. Making the Girl Scout circle.
give him a hand. Nice job, Girl Scout.
And they're so quiet too. Not a rowdy one in the bunch. Trey Green is here, making sure everybody got an apple. Alright, Snow White.
Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
Okay, I noticed that Snow White. Snow White, and we only got 3 dwarfs with her here. Everybody's aboard, look out. Hardly any of them fell off.
Next float coming up is represents the Chazy Lions Club with their 50th anniversary. We got our king and queen of the last year at the Lions Club, my little home days.
Mr. and Mrs. Richard West. Dick was the oldest king ever crowned, king of the Old Home Day celebration.
Right behind the Old Home, or the Chazy Lions Club, is the Chazy Utaki rollerbladers.
Craig Drew is not a youth. Willie's here too. That's Michelle Laporte. Latrimore's.
Our next parade entry is Latrimore's Insurance.
Holy cow. Just any way to run an insurance company. Uncle Sam Latrimore here, Chris Latrimore, Glenn and Mary, George and Washington.
Hi, Oliver. Hey, Calvin.
Well, thank you very much. Got a whole bag of goodies. They even got the softball coach helping out here, Carol Lyons.
Okay, this is followed by the Champlain Valley Antique Engine and Tractor Association. The float, an 1889 White Middleton engine sold.
8th and 9th, coming up. Coming up, the 8th and 9th. Certainly worth a trip.
We got a 1938 Model L John Deere tractor.
There's a gas engine, if you're wondering what a gas engine is. This is an Alice Chalmers.
We have an Alice Chalmers C and an Alice Chalmers B.
it hasn't been as painted as recently as the other one. Another John Deere.
They have one of their little engines.
There's the gas engine at work.
There's a drag saw here.
And Mr. Boyer on his McCormick Farmall Cub.
There's a Farmall Cub.
The powerhouse.
There's a Power King. Another Farmall Cub.
And a black Cub. With the POW MIA flag following. A lot of vehicles from the Antique Gas Engine Club this year. Antique Gas Engine and Tractor Association.
We have another Alice Campbell calling the American Legion DFW band. Maybe the show still has the power to do it.
DFW Legion band, band I should say, not band.
Now we have Moore's Volunteer Fire Department with a 2006 International 5,000-gallon tanker.
Chris Boris driving a vehicle for Moore's. 102 years ago, Chazy and Moore's were taken off the town of Champlain. Hometown Cable was there for the celebrations back in 2004. And both communities put on outstanding celebrations commemorating that historic event.
It is pulled by Kevin Bushy driving a BMW representing Lake Champlain Pool. Lake Champlain Pool started in Chazy in 1976 and is now located in Plattsburgh.
I'm going to get his picture took. Parade's still coming.
That is followed by St. Armand Service with 2 wreckers, Joe and Joey Dino. Deal.
How's everybody today?
You're never happy to need a tow truck, but you're always happy to see it when you need it.
There's Joey Dio in the ranch truck.
And a little fella in back eating some candy and throwing some out. Eating some
They're
and throwing
followed
some.
by a marching unit from the West Chazy Fire Department, along with one of their trucks.
Alright, from West Chazy. They are in step too. Super Dave says salute, you salute. The Chevrolet.
He's followed by a little Chevrolet pickup driven by Dick McCott, and a vehicle that he has worked on feverishly to restore.
Dick and Ducky.
Attention, stay back from emergency operation.
Dick McCott.
Attention, stay back from emergency operation.
Leslie Bill driving for Danforth Fuel Company.
Attention, stay back from emergency operations.
It's like a parade jumper right there. A parade jumper. Cumberland Head is here.
Cumberland Head Fire Department, Squad 186 with a hovercraft. They perform water rescues, ice rescues, and other rescue functions.
Hovercraft. That gets used, unfortunately, quite often.
Emergency operations.
Something about New York State Class D soccer champions.
Chazy Westport Communications line truck and bucket truck. Local telephone company. It was also pulling a float with the Chazy Boys Varsity Soccer Team 2004-2005 state champions.
2 years in a row, New York State Class D champions. Can they make it 3? Tune in to Hometown Cable and find out. They're throwing soccer balls, mini balls. Incoming.
Chazy Highway Department, the next vehicle, Superintendent Dick Lewis. We got 2005 International Dump Truck Plow and a 2005 PM60 New Holland tractor with a loader.
Is back. They'll be playing shortly. We're near the end of the parade here.
Next entry is Samples Lawn and Garden. One of their Massey Ferguson tractors. And one of their Toro lawn mowers. Big John Deere is owned by Rover's Farm Tractor. Dutch Rovers are one story only.
And Lance is up there. Little boy waving to Grandma and Grandpa. We're on the reviewing stand.
Well, that is the last of our parade, but we would ask that you please stick around for the band to perform their medley of songs. They are going to perform 3 patriotic songs: America the Beautiful, You're a Grand Old Flag, and America, to honor those that served and have served our country. They will also perform an arrangement of our official national march, the Stars and Stripes Forever.
This apparently is not part of the parade, but it certainly could have been. It's a beautiful vehicle. Hummer 2.
small table sitting in front of the flagpole. For those who have served and those currently serving in the uniformed port services of the United States are ever mindful that the sweetness of enduring peace has always been tainted by the bitterness of personal sacrifice. We are compelled to never forget that while we enjoy our daily pleasures, there are others who have endured and may still be enduring the agonies of pain, deprivation, and imprisonment. I ask that you pause and place your attention to the small white table. The small table which occupies a place of dignity and honor. It is set for one, symbolizing the fact that members of our armed forces are missing from our ranks. They are referred to as POWs and MIAs. We call them comrades. They are unable to be with their loved ones and families, so we join together to pay humble tribute to them and to bear witness to their continued absence. The table is small, symbolizing the frailty of one prisoner alone against his or her suppressors. The tablecloth is white, symbolic of the purity of their intentions to respond to their country's call to arms. The single rose in the vase signifies the blood they may have shed in sacrifice to ensure the freedoms of our beloved United States of America. This rose also reminds us of the family and friends of our missing comrades who keep faith while awaiting their return. The red ribbon on the base represents the red ribbon worn on the lapels of thousands of those who demand with unyielding determination to protect or to properly account of our comrades who are not among us. The slice of lemon on the plate reminds us of their bitter fate. The salt sprinkled on the plate reminds us of the countless fallen tears of families as they await. The glass is inverted. They cannot toast with us at this time. The chair is empty. They are not here. The candle is reminiscent of the light of hope which lives in our hearts to illuminate their way home, away from their captors, to open arms of a grateful nation. The American flag reminds us that many of them may never return and have paid the supreme sacrifice to ensure our freedom. Let us pray to the Supreme Commander that all our comrades will soon be back within our ranks. Let us remember and never forget their sacrifice. May God forever watch over them and protect them and their families. Now the band will play the national anthem. Now we'll have the raising of the flag. The salute. and now we'll have taps. I want to thank you for coming out for our Memorial Day Parade today, and remind everyone that we have hot dogs and hamburgers, Michigans here at the post with soda and water. Thank you for the nice day, and please enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Fine job put on here in Chazy, honoring the veterans on this Memorial Day weekend. And, the Poissons are here, fine supporters of Hometown Cable, along with so many others. Thanks for watching, and for those of you who like the Poisson family, who are supporting viewer-supported local television Hometown Cable.